a for everyone to join, and hello. I think we're live. I think we are good to start. So welcome. Hello, my friends. It's so good to see you here, and a big welcome as well to those who are watching on replay. Are you ready? Are you ready to give yourself a little bit of time and really get the brain thinking and the ideas churning of all the possibilities, the endless possibilities that you can experience? So let me just check we are all set up and everything is good. Hopefully you guys can see my screen. And Body Up Level, Rise and Thrive, the masterclass. And the reason I did this, the reason I designed this specific masterclass was really because I see so many women where they have good things going on, right? They have good things, good experiences in their life, and there's a gap. They want their body, their mind, their energy to become a match for everything else in their life that they love. So I thank you for joining me today. I know some of you already, and a special hello to those that don't. And really what I want to do is just talk to you today. We'll be going through some structure because some of you guys know that I can go off on a tangent, but what I want to show you is just the possibilities for your body, for yourself, for how you choose to feel physically, emotionally, energetically. And I'm really excited to show you a different pathway, one that you might not have experienced before. I truly believe that there is a time where women, they desire more for themselves. And I see often when women enter their 40s, there's just a kind of like, there's more of an awareness. There's more curiosity about, you know, maybe there's more to this and what's out there. And, you know, they've spent a long time maybe working, giving to others, potentially raising families. And there's that little sneaky part that gets curious about what else might be there for them. And there will be some women that stifle that, right? That kind of attach something to that and then continue with their life. But there are also those who pay attention to that and move through it. And that's where the courage sits. That's where the beautiful results come in. That's where the life-changing stuff happens. So whilst you are here today with me, please give yourself the gift of time. You don't need to write notes. You don't need to absorb everything. What I would love to happen is that you have a clear mind right now and just see what lands for you. As I said, you don't have to tick all the boxes of like, you know, do I need to do this and that and that and that? Just want to see what lands for you. And sometimes in life, all we need is a decision, a thought, a situation to trigger us into changing the trajectory of our life. And that's what I want to happen today. So what we're going to cover is, what I want to do is shine, sort of look through a bigger lens here of what's possible for you within your body, a body that, not that you just get to exist in, that things are fine, a body that you thrive in, that you enjoy living in, that allows you to live your life to the full, not missing out on life. A body that you enjoy the reflection of. And within that, discover a pathway that unlocks the glorious potential, because we all have this glorious potential inside, whilst releasing those inner blocks to change that are possibly keeping you stuck right now. And really discovering how to transfer what has created success in your life so far and create a match for your physical, emotional body whilst living in full integrity. And we want to uncover a pathway to transform your body from a place of hell yes, not, oh Jesus, I'll start again on Monday. A yes, like I actually want to do this, I feel this, whilst breaking those sabotaging patterns. This will free up life, a space in your life. We want to nail this thing, your thing, and we want to do it with ease and simplicity, because it's a confusing world out there and it doesn't need to be confusing. So embracing a simple roadmap, there is such beauty in simplicity, moving away from restriction, from rules, from someone telling you what to do every second of the day, the external answers, into creating your own success, which will allow you to continue that success and have those lifelong results that you truly, truly crave. Let me introduce myself formally. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Georgina Lee. I'm founder of the Embodied Woman's Mentorship. I run different courses, coaching courses, and I coach and mentor entrepreneurs, professional women, perfectionists, I'm going to throw in there, women in business, really to create a life within their body that feels good. And I mean good. I mean exceptional good. We want to work away from just okay, right? Just fine. And really working with women on the deeper desires, the transformation they have been craving for so long. And I tell you, when I started this work, I didn't know what was, I just didn't know the depth of what was there for me. I didn't. And I think it's so common with the clients that I work with. It's only when we start peeling back the layers and doing the work and you realize actually the extent to what you can gain from doing this. For some of you, that might be something physical. You know, right now, if I asked you what it is that you wanted, it might be a physical desire. It could be a desire to not miss out on life, to, to feel better about your body, to have confidence in your body. It could be self-worth, your relationship with food. It could be your relationships in general, that this is impacting. And it could be all of it. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with all of it. There's absolutely nothing wrong right now with struggling. And it may be a topic that I cover later for a different day, but we've got to admit sometimes that it's okay to say I'm struggling. So my clients are really women that want to create the same level of success within themselves as they have elsewhere. They want the energy, the freedom, the freedom of focus, the peace of mind to really start living life. And it's all about this work. It's all about discovering. It's about exploration. It's looking past just weight loss and fixing and numbers on scales. I know you can lose weight. I know you can lose weight. What I want you to have is the connection, the trust, the knowledge, the confidence that you can do this without having to go back to what you were doing before. And in my world, what I notice often is that women come, and believe me, you can look confident in real life, but they come and there's this gap where they feel quite isolated in many respects, and they feel quite lonely because it's not something particularly that women discuss, the depths of their experience. And we have these beautiful, gritty conversations, and they're so enlightening because often women will say, hang on, she thinks that too. She does that too. I didn't know, and you get to 45, whatever years old and still be like, oh, I was just the only one. So it's really opening up those conversations that matter, right? Moving beyond just the physical and the things that really impact us as females, and looking at those relationships that we have, the relationships that we have with not just ourselves, but how that can ripple out into a wider world. And, the intimacy, the connection with others, the communication with others. When you decide to work on yourself in a manner that can only add value to your life, it can only improve other areas of your life, in business, in personal, in wherever. So I want to normalize transformation. I want to normalize success for women, because I see too many people holding themselves back, and it's the invisible fear, and it's like, oh my God, and everything else comes into our mind. It isn't some faraway dream what you want. It really isn't. And I want to be able to bridge the gap and show you that what you can create within yourself when we step away from what we do and what we know, because this is a huge part, I should know what to do. I've tried everything. When we step away from that thought process and open ourselves up to something different, something bigger, your transformation, your results are just steps away. It's one step, then another step, another. But it all rides on making a decision about where you choose to go with it. And really, to show you what's available to you, we often focus on this surface level, because that's almost what we've been taught. And I'm going to try not to go into this because it's just such a passionate topic of mine, is our condition in society. But we stick on this surface level. It's almost like, can we really explore what it is that I truly want? Have I ever allowed myself to explore that? But under here, under like, I just want to lose some weight and I just maybe just do this and maybe whatever, is all the life-changing experiences. Because there's a lot of life-changing experiences. And I came into this world wanting just to lose weight. And as I said, things happen. A lot of my clients will come to me and be like, I just, I want to lose some weight. I need to lose some weight. And then their mind will be open as to what's possible. Why just work on the physical when you can have emotional resilience? When you can have more confidence, when you can work on your self-worth, when you can have freedom of mind, when you can own the show. And when you do the work that isn't just another plan, another quick fix, another 2-week transformation, when you recognize that this is how you live your life every single day, how you show up, how you choose to feel, how you choose to treat your body, how you choose to treat yourself, how you choose to talk to yourself, you will start to see that your confidence, your worth, your self-esteem will increase. And I want you to experience this without more control, without more willpower, without rigidity, without energy consuming methods that might be sucking the life out of you right now. And stopping playing small and starting to live in integrity, starting to make choices aligned with your values that drive you forward, freeing up your focus, living more energetically. Who doesn't want to live more energetically and have more energy for the good things in life? And there's a lot of my clients that will say, and I was exactly the same now, it's like, I didn't realize how much I thought about this. I didn't realize how much this was taking away from me. Like thinking about food, waking up, I've done this, I've done that. Oh my God, did I just eat that yesterday? Now what can I eat today? And I mean, the cycle, what it takes away from you energetically is enormous. So it's having that success with self, normalizing that, and starting to feel at home in your own skin on a deeper level. There's the true work, which I just adore because I have 3 small children, I have 3 small girls. And for me, it's really, really important to be the person who breaks generational patterns. It's huge. My role, what I see as my role in creating a different generation of children, of women, of boys also, but I have girls who enjoy their bodies, who are not kind of catapulted into this message that you have to look a certain way and you must restrict and you must, beautify yourself and all of this. But that is definitely another topic. But there's more. There is more to your lived experience than just making yourself smaller and doing that in a way that actually is taken away from you, right? It's like, oh, I just need to get to that point and then I'll be happy. Just need to lose that weight and then I'll be happy. Then I'll start living my life. It's the here and now. We only have the here and now. And it may be that you listen to say, okay, that sounds great. But hey, like, maybe I don't believe that I can get it. Maybe you've already dabbled in a few things. Maybe you've shifted away from dieting. Maybe you've done some work on yourself, that you've got some awareness. And that is exactly the right point to keep going with that. It's definitely not the point to stop. But with this, where does your mind go? Where's your thought pattern right now? Can I really get that? Well, I've like tried pretty much everything, so maybe not. And I've been at it a while. It's not like I've just been doing this a year. I've been doing this potentially for decades. And can I really be bothered? Can I really be bothered to do something about it? And if it hasn't happened now, is it going to happen? And it's the underlying thing of like, do I really want food taken away from me? It's a big thing in my life. Do I have the energy to keep trying at this? Will this be a burden? Those things that you tell yourself naturally, your limiting stories, your thoughts, your beliefs, will be guiding your reality of today. And those things aren't true. So what I want to say is, I know many women who have dieted for decades, who have really worked against themselves for decades. But what they do is shift through the limiting beliefs and use their skills to empower them to move forward, even though there's fear, doubt, and all the rest. So I'm not saying you can't have that. I'm saying it's very natural to have that. And if you're thinking that right now, you're in the normal crowd, okay? But what I want you to do is confront it. A story that has been created that is keeping you stifled. And no, you shouldn't know what to do, because I've never met a woman who has worked with me who has done this before. And I've had women that have done CBT, counseling, I've had psychologists, actually working with psychologists, GPs, you name it. So no, you probably shouldn't know what to do. But let's talk quickly about successful women and food and their body and what they experience. It's not through lack of trying. It's not through lack. Many women are A-star students. They've done the work, they've done the podcast, they've listened to the information, they're always bloody trying. They've got great willpower. And let me give you an example. My client Gigi, who is super successful, you wouldn't think she had an issue with food because she just, she's very confident, articulate. And she said to me, it's really hard to confront this reality because I hold deep shame. And she said, it's hard. It's hard because when you are validated for achievement, for success, when people are like, Gigi will get it done. She's, she's up here. She's always the person, to go to, or the person in charge, the person in control. To admit that there's a problem that you can't control when your validation is based on success, it's really hard. And sometimes you don't even allow yourself to feel that. So you will kind of go through life convincing yourself that everything's absolutely fine. You want this to be logical. So you can be the most intelligent person in this entire world, but your relationship with your food and your body is emotional. And if the expectations are up here and you can't reach it because you're using logic and you're also powered through limiting stories and you don't want anyone to see the chinks, we will naturally be in this hokey cokey all the time, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So for women that get shit done, it's actually really hard to take. It's really hard to take because we don't want to appear. Not that we don't want to appear, we don't want to feel the feelings that come from imperfection, let's say. And it's hard to say, I haven't got this all together, I'm 40, 50, 60 years old, I haven't got it all together. I haven't sorted this out yet. So this is just that one thing. That one thing is quite big. Yeah. It's not logical, it's emotional, it's complex, it's built on belief, it's built on story, and you get to change that. Only you get to change that, right? And I will say to someone, unless you are willing to approach this with an open mind and open heart, then work on yourself. Don't keep punishing yourself, right? Don't keep punishing yourself. Allow yourself to kind of be as you are. So the disconnect, you will hear me talk a lot about connection. And for so many years, I was disconnected. I couldn't lose weight. I was back and forth, couldn't get a grip. And when you live disconnected from your body, you will also live disconnected from your needs, your intuition. When this has been going on a long time, you may struggle with your food relationship, your relationships. You may struggle to live with purpose, to make choices, to have better self-worth. So this disconnect really does impact us quite heavily. And we may think it's just food, but you will also see the other areas that it impacts. And you can feel unfulfilled in what feels like the one thing, but it's unfulfillment in different areas. So I struggled with disordered eating for most of my life, really, from childhood, which is probably why I'm so passionate about working with children, or, breaking those generational patterns with the weight cycling, the impulsive eating, the emotionally fueled eating. I was so out of touch with my needs, micromanaging, just coming from a place of control and the need for more. And that obviously exasperates the guilt and the shame and the doubt that I could ever actually change. And I think, in honesty, I didn't think I could change. I just thought it was me. And that's the thing. You don't necessarily label yourself as emotional eater or a secret eater. It's just who you are. So when you're offered the opportunity to change that, it's really hard because it's who you are. And I hope that makes sense. So the irony was like, no one would have probably had a clue. People would have said I was strong, I was confident, I was very successful, had a great job, had a great car, all of that stuff. And I was a perfectionist. I put very heavy standards on myself. So same situation as Gigi, in that I didn't ever want to admit, like I would joke in the office about losing weight, but I didn't want to admit that like there is more to this. Little did I know now, probably everyone in the office was doing exactly the same thing. But let's face it, if you want to know what to do to lose weight, then that information is there. As I said, you can do that. But by the time you get to a certain age, you obviously know what to do from that, weight loss point of view. But it's not that, is it? And that's why you're here. That's why people are wanting more. Because if it was just a case of knowing what to do, then you would do it. But we don't. Our mind gets in the way. Our emotions, our energy, our lack of connection to our bodies means that we just don't treat it well. And I truly believe, and this was a huge shift to me, that sustainable external physical change will always come as a result of internal change. So when I looked at myself in the mirror, I don't recognize that person in this picture. When I looked at myself in the mirror then, it just didn't match. I didn't match. And that created just problems for me. And I craved much more from that. And I'm going to talk you through the parts in a second. And this Brené, I love a bit of Brené, but is about relationships. But there's a lot to be taken from this, about how we start building a relationship, because the only way for you to achieve fulfillment, in my experience and opinion, is through creating a better relationship with yourself. And many of us haven't even had the opportunity to have that, right? We're just so busy being so bloody awful to ourselves. And we got it wrong. Someone once asked me, like, how do you compare to Noom? And I was just a bit flummoxed. Like there just isn't, there's no comparison. We're literally the opposite. And often I want to prescribe people the total opposite of what they're doing, even though that's what they keep doing. And things that you might be doing now, and the things that I was doing were the things that where I was becoming more out of touch with what I needed. I didn't know how to feed myself. I didn't know what to eat, when to eat it, because I was kind of always looking at people to give me those answers. I didn't trust myself around food. I romanticized the results. I was always outcome focused. I just need to get to this point. I was always just trying to lose weight for something without actually bridging the gap, fixing myself, trying to just like make it go away. And the focus was on eating less, relying on willpower. I mean, these are really vague strategies, but I thought that's just what people do, isn't it? And really not understanding the psychology and the physiology behind this. This is huge. I was just up here all the time. I just need to focus on my food, just need to eat less every bloody Monday, every Monday. It's the underlying reasons for why we do what we do, and how within that we start to truly work on ourselves. And that is connection. So I want to talk you through a pathway. And this is the part of my coaching process. And it's the foundations, it's growth, it's desire, acceptance. And these are key steps. When you, and if you do anything from this, from listening, do this. Sorry, take this on board. When your mind says, I'm not happy as I am, there's got to be more, right? There's got to be more. I want to feel different, right? I'm missing out here. Sometimes it's loud, sometimes it's subtle. I want you to recognize that is not to be stifled. This is growth screaming at you that something needs to change. When you feel discomfort, it's a sign to do, not to retreat. So if you have the niggle, then it's like, oh, maybe I should do something here. And the natural is, not the right time. You're too busy at work, got too much on. Don't deal, deal with it after summer. You can do it after summer. No, self-abandonment, okay? We step into discomfort because the good stuff always comes from that. It doesn't come from our comfort zone. It will never come from us being like, but I thought it'd be easy, but I just need it to happen in 2 weeks and then I'll do it. It's actually working through this. And we're so used to not working through our discomfort. We're so used to not tapping into our full potential that we just push it away and we avoid it. And we convince ourselves that everything in life is okay and that we should be grateful because we've got other stuff going on, and then tap into something that distracts us. Or go back to what I was doing before because that feels comfortable. Even if I know it doesn't work or make me happy, I can do it. So the discomfort is the sign that something needs attention in life. It's not indulgent to want more. It's the desire for growth. Go take it, right? That's my best advice. That is my best advice because I see too many women doing that. And my question really is, what do you want for yourself? Not what you should want. What do you want this to look like for you? Is it physical? It's okay to want physical, right? Because when I worked through my process, I'm not going to lie to people. I wanted to lose weight, but I did it in a very different way. I stopped just focusing on the weight loss and started thinking about myself. I started wondering why it was okay to treat myself like shit and punish myself every single day for eating food. And when I started to work on myself, the weight loss just happened, right? It didn't happen in 2 weeks. I didn't lose a load of water weight and celebrate. No one noticed. No one noticed. But I lost an awful lot of weight and never really came back, never came back. But that's because I shift paths. So what do you want this to look like? What would that allow you to do? What would you be doing? What would you be experiencing? How do you actually want to live your life today? What are we avoiding here? Do you want more joy? Do you want more laughter? Do you want to, I don't know, start running? What is it that you want? And with that, what we want is acceptance. Acceptance is crucial. And I bet most people haven't really ever given this any thought. Acceptance is desiring more, but accepting where you're at. It doesn't mean giving up, letting go, which kind of, you might think, oh, I've accepted myself. And, you can desire a physical, emotional change. It doesn't mean that you need to live in the past, punish yourself for not being where you think you should be. It means you can not be okay with where you're at today and still want more. And I truly believe that acceptance of where we are and desire for change is much more accelerating in terms of the desire, the process to do more than it is like just, abandoning. So we do live a lot in the past. The failed attempts, the limiting stories, all the things that didn't work for me, all the stories I tell myself about, maybe it's the genes and maybe it's my metabolism and maybe this. So you don't have to like your circumstances to agree with them. We have to understand and let go of the past. The focus on all that I am not, the focus on the failures, the allowing the past to dictate our future. Well, I've never lost weight before. I've never managed to keep it off before. Well, it never works for me. Like you're just letting yourself out the exit door. It's just there. We want to free up the energy to focus now on what's really important to you. But that also means having the courage to move through, which is hard because the stories that you tell yourself, you believe them to be true. And beliefs obviously are beliefs. So me saying this to you right now, you'd be like, yeah, but it's true, right? I haven't managed to lose weight. So therefore, and I am busy at work. So we are hardwired to avoid confrontation, discomfort. We are taught, it's our inherent, physiology to retreat, fear, don't like it, head back. So we can accept and still take action. You can accept you don't like your situation and still make an effort to change. And I'm not going to feed some BS, about God, 3 weeks, guys, it's whatever. This is change. This is growth. It doesn't end. It's the most beautiful, empowering work you will ever do in your life. But you don't get it from not doing anything. So it's pushing the edges, and it's wanting to push the edges, because you actually want to get into the frame of mind to doing that. When you want to, everything feels easier. And this is the difference of the journeys, that it's about you, it's working with you, it's not against you. It's not all that you're not, it's all that you can be, all that you are. And that mental shift is enough to change the path for many people. And I love this Carl Jung quote: until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. So conscious awareness is removing yourself off autopilot and start to understand your patterns. My job is to shift your patterns with you, right? It's looking at, why do I think the way I do? Why do I do what I do? Why do I eat that way? Why do I treat myself like that way? Why do I always give up? Why do I have no belief in myself? Where's my confidence on the floor? Why do I treat other people like that? So it's really starting to shift off autopilot. What are the things that you're doing right now, specifically in your life, that are creating the roadblocks? Why are you doing those things? And often we're just like, oh, I can't lose weight. That's my big problem. But we're not actually looking specifically at what's happening in my life that I actively want to change. And most people are really going to gain immediate benefit from understanding their patterns and questioning why they do what they do. And this really allows you to start working with yourself. It's that honest, like, reflection of, actually, yeah, hey, I've got some responsibility here. And when you understand your patterns, you can start to take back charge of those things. And this is what happens when you step into empowerment. Think about how you feel when you are thinking about change. And I bet it's like, oh God, really? That's why you wait until after the holiday, because you think it's going to be bloody miserable and you can't eat food. That's why you wait until work's come down, because you think it's going to take all your energy and time. These are exactly the times when you should be doing it, when you go on holiday, when you're busy. Change is not resentful, it's not awful, it's amazing. You have so much more choice about what this path can look like, and the choices that you make every single day. Think about the person that you want to be, right? What does she do? What actions is she taking? Is she making herself miserable by eating no carbs? Is she talking crap to herself all day long? What's the relationship with her body like? You know, is she requiring only external validation to feel good about herself? Does she value who she is? And finally, what happens next? The foundations to the long term need to be built. And I see this more often since COVID. It's like, why are women not feeling fulfilled? Why do they struggle to prioritize themselves? Why is it like their kind of core needs aren't being met? Why is it uncomfortable to meet their core needs? When you design your life in a way that your values, goals, and actions fall out of alignment, you will feel like you are spinning your wheels endlessly. It's exhausting. We feel it. You're continually trying, but not getting any closer to where you want to be, which is why you will see women struggle with their weight their entire life. We have to be in alignment. So the values really are who we are and what we aspire to become, and the actions of the how actually this happens. Values matter so much, and we forget them in the quest for change. Yet I really believe that females seek intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. They desire motivation from within, things that they feel good about doing, rather than being rewarded for doing or punished for not doing, or dieting or eating less, and the inner criticism that doesn't feel good. And this is so obvious in food and body, because we are not living in alignment. It's literally like gearing yourself up to be like, here we go again. I've got to go back to the plan. I've got to lose weight after the holiday. You know, I've got to work on my body. And it's the opposite of who you are as an individual. So the habits are the actions that we take every day to meet the desire. You are looking for fulfillment. You are looking for connection. You are looking for engagement. You're looking for opportunity. But that's the disconnect, because we're always going into self-abandonment against our values. And then we wonder why we're not being happy. Because if our values were like integrity, courage, compassion, trust, and we're not offering those to ourselves every single day, why have you eaten? Jesus Christ, lose some weight, not trusting ourselves, then your mind is way more powerful than you ever believe. And there will always be that conflict, right? How do we expect fulfillment to come from that? So within that, it's like, why am I not happy? Why am I not as happy as I feel like I should be or could be? And a lot of it also is a secrecy attached to it. It's like, I just think got another client in my mind, and she runs her own business, and it's not unusual, but she'd never, ever told anyone. It's not unusual about what she was experiencing. People knew she wanted to lose weight, but it's so far beyond that. So if you then internalize that, it's almost like you're living two different groups. You're running your business and you're like providing customers, and you're living by your values. You're giving all these things to people, the generosity, the time, the space. And then inside of me, it's like the total opposite. And I just think that's a really powerful reminder sometimes to take actions based on who we are, not what other people tell you should be actioning. Because all the work is about adding value. What makes you feel good? What brings you joy? What do you have passion for? And creating a story of who you are that you get to implement every single day. It's not all or nothing. It's not pass or fail. It's having the respect for yourself that you deserve a journey based on trust, belief, and worth. And that lights you up. So create your own definitions of success. Think about your values. Think about the actions that you take. Am I in integrity here? And there's such ease in this. What it also does as well, it just blocks out all the stuff that people are telling you that you should be doing, and what your colleagues doing and what someone else is doing. It's like, actually, no, this is me. This is my journey. It's simplicity. And it's stripping it back. And it's not something that you have to do, because it's something that you get to do. It's something that you hopefully want to do. So let's recap. I really want you to follow your desires and think about adding value to your desires as well, and those things that you want, and focus on the connection to create the transformation. Don't stop at physical, right? Just get it all, emotional, energetical, just get it all. And really lean into it. Don't fear change, lean into it. There are fantastic things on the horizon, and really start to recognize the limiting stories, the fear. Where am I holding myself back here? And how do I move through this? It doesn't matter at what pace you go. It doesn't matter who's doing what. It just matters that you move forward. Doesn't matter, dare I say, you may not feel this, but how long it takes, because if you're moving forward, it's way better than this in, out, back, forth struggle, this lifelong struggle. And allow it to happen. I use the word soften a lot in my coaching, which might not make sense, but it's a word that I love, because it's just compassionate, starting to understand yourself, starting to build that relationship with yourself. And it's so beautiful, because everything that you want is really, it's just right there. So if this has resonated with you, I'd love you to just drop me a message, or catch up with me on social media. You can get hold of me on I am Georgina Lee on Instagram, or my email, georgina@theinsideworks. And yeah, if you're looking for support and you are someone who wants to know more about coaching or mentoring and bridging that gap, get in touch. I will see whether we're a good fit. I run capsule courses, I have mentorship, occasionally private coaching spaces come up, but give us a chat and then we can touch base from there. So I really want to thank you for joining me. I want to thank you for your time, and I would love to hear from you and let you know what your thoughts are, and hopefully speak to you soon. Have a gorgeous day. Bye.